Hey, cake lovers, it's your kitchen maestro here, ready to whip up something downright sinful, a moist and fudgy chocolate cake that'll make your heart skip a beat. This bad boy uses everyday ingredients, comes together fast, and tastes like a chocolate dream. Let's dive into the magic, shall we? Grab a big bowl and let's start with the dry stuff. Dump in 2 cups of granulated sugar. Yep, just pour it right in. Now, sift in 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour for that perfect texture. Add a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, natural, not Dutch processed, for that deep chocolatey vibe. Toss in a heaping teaspoon each of baking soda and baking powder to get that rise, and 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt to balance the sweetness. Give it a quick whisk to make sure everything's playing nice. Pro tip, make a little well in the center of the mix. It's like a cozy nest for the wet ingredients. Now crack in 2 large eggs, room temp if you can, 'cause they blend like a dream. Pour in 1/2 cup of vegetable oil for that moist crumb we're chasing. Add a cup of milk, cold's fine if you're in a rush, just stir it well. Oh, and don't skip the vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons for that warm, cozy flavor. Start mixing from the center, working outward, until you've got a smooth, lump-free batter. This is where it starts looking like love in a bowl. Hold up, let's add a secret weapon, coffee. Brew a teaspoon of instant coffee with a cup of boiling water. No, we're not drinking it, though I totally snuck a sip off camera. Slowly pour this into the batter, mixing as you go. The batter will look thin, almost like a milkshake, but trust me, it's gonna bake up into fudgy perfection. Time to prep those pans, 2 9-inch round ones. Grease them like your life depends on it, and line the bottoms with parchment paper. No parchment, no party. Those cakes will cling like stubborn kids. Pour the batter evenly into the pans, pop them into a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven, and let them bake for 30 minutes. If your oven's small, stagger the pans on different racks. What comes out? Soft, fluffy layers that'll make you wanna high-five yourself. While the cakes bake, let's whip up a chocolate cream that's pure decadence. Start with 2/3 of a cup of chilled heavy cream in a cold bowl. Chilled gear makes whipping a breeze. Add a teaspoon of sugar and whip until you get stiff peaks. Don't overdo it, unless you're aiming for butter. Set that aside. Now for the rich part. Separate 3 egg yolks, save the whites for an omelet, and mix them with a tablespoon of sugar. Want it sweeter? Go for 2. Pour in another 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream, 35% fat for that luxe vibe, and stir until smooth. Heat this mix over medium, stirring constantly so it thickens without boiling. Off the heat, toss in 2 chopped dark chocolate bars, 70% cocoa for that intense flavor. Stir fast, it melts like a charm. If it's a bit gritty, no stress, it'll smooth out. Fold this chocolatey goodness into your whipped cream, but move quick, this stuff sets fast. If it firms up, a gentle warm-up in a double boiler and a quick whip will save the day. Cakes done? Let them cool in the pans for 10 minutes, don't rush, or they'll crumble. Tap them out, thank you, parchment, and let's assemble. Plop 1 layer on a rotating stand, or just spin the plate if you're old school. Spread a generous layer of that chocolate cream, top with the second layer, and slather on more cream. For flair, spin the cake and drag a spoon handle through the surface for a cool textured look. And there you go, a fudgy, moist masterpiece ready to steal the show. Slice it up, share it, or keep it all to yourself, I won't judge. If this got you hungry, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. What's your go-to cake flavor? Catch you in the next kitchen adventure. Hey, food lovers, it's your kitchen maestro here with a game changer. Buckle up for the easiest flatbread you'll ever make, ready in just 5 minutes. No yeast, no kneading, just pure magic with flour and water. This bad boy puffs up like a balloon and tastes like it came straight from a pro's oven. Let's dive in. Grab a bowl and toss in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, that's about 240 grams. Add a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt, 5 grams each, if you're feeling precise. Give it a quick mix to get those dry ingredients cozy. Now, slowly pour in 2 cups of water, that's 480 milliliters, and stir until it's smooth as silk. Don't rush it, let it come together. Finish it off with a tablespoon of cooking oil. Mix it in for that perfect texture. Alright, heat a pan over medium-low, leaning just a touch toward medium. Drizzle in some oil, then wipe out the excess with a paper towel for a nice, even cook. Pour in your batter, don't be shy, and let it sizzle for about a minute. Flip it, and here's the fun part. Keep flipping every 20 to 30 seconds for a couple more minutes. You'll see it inflate like a puffy cloud. Pro tip, crank the heat to medium if you want those big, glorious bubbles. Once it's golden and chewy, slide it onto a plate and cover it with a kitchen towel. That keeps the inside soft and moist, with a perfectly chewy crust. And that's it. 5 minutes, a handful of ingredients, and you've got flatbread that'll steal the show. Serve it with dips, soups, or just tear into it solo. So, what's the verdict? Ready to whip this up and wow your crew? Drop your flatbread vibes in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more kitchen hacks. Let's keep the flavor rolling. Hey, foodie crew, it's your kitchen maestro here, ready to make churros so epic you'll feel like a pro without breaking a sweat. These crispy, golden beauties with a dreamy chocolate dip? Oh, they're about to steal the show. Grab your apron, and let's whip up some magic in under an hour. Alright, let's kick things off with the dough. Pour a cup of water into your go-to pot. Toss in a tablespoon of sugar and a half teaspoon of salt. Simple stuff you've probably got in your pantry. Give it a good stir to dissolve everything like it's nobody's business. Now, chop up 2 tablespoons of butter into little cubes, don't stress if they're not perfect, and drop them in. Crank the heat to medium, and in about a minute, that butter's melted, and your pot's smelling like a bakery. Just before it starts boiling, it's flour time. Dump in a cup of all-purpose flour, plus 2 extra tablespoons for good luck. Grab a wooden spoon and channel your inner action hero. Stir fast and furious. The dough's gonna get sticky, like it's auditioning for a drama, but keep mixing. In 3 to 5 minutes, it'll pull away from the pan and form a smooth, Play-Doh-like ball. Arm workout? Transfer that dough to a bowl and spread it out to cool for 5 minutes. Pro tip, this keeps the eggs from scrambling later. While it's chilling, crack 1 egg into a small bowl and whisk it like you mean it. Once the dough's cooled, add the egg bit by bit, mixing like you're introducing shy friends. Crack in a second egg, no hesitation this time, and keep stirring. If you've got a stand mixer with dough hooks, let it do the heavy lifting, lazy chef hack. At first, the dough might look confused, half liquid, half solid, but keep going. It'll turn smooth and glossy, like it's ready for its close-up. If the dough's still too thick, add half of another whisked egg, mix, and check. Too lumpy? Toss in the rest. You want it shiny, thick, and ready to hold its shape. Perfect? Slap some cling film on it and pop it in the fridge for a quick nap. Overnight's even better for next-level churros, but no pressure. Now, let's make that chocolate sauce that'll make you ditch the churros and just grab a spoon. Mix a scant teaspoon of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of water. Stir with a chopstick until it's lump-free. Set it aside. Chop up about 50 grams of dark chocolate, 70% cacao's my jam, but use what you've got. Toss it into a thick-bottomed saucepan with a tablespoon of sugar. Yeah, sugar with chocolate sounds wild, but trust me, it's a flavor bomb. Pour in half a cup of milk, set the heat to low, and stir gently as the chocolate melts into a silky dream. Once it's smooth, stir in that cornstarch mix to thicken it up. Cook for a minute or 2 until it's creamy and irresistible. Pour it into a pretty bowl and try not to eat it all. Time to fry. Pour half a liter of vegetable oil into a frying pan and heat it just below medium for 3 to 4 minutes. Test with a wooden stick. Steady bubbles mean it's go time. Grab your dough from the fridge and scoop it into a piping bag. No piping bag? Snip the corner off a plastic bag. The Y for the win. Use a French star tip for those classic churro ridges. It's a small touch that screams pro. Pipe the dough onto baking paper for perfect shapes, or go rogue and pipe straight into the oil. Tastes just as good, even if it's less Instagram-worthy. Carefully slide the piped churros, paper and all, into the hot oil. Watch your fingers, I've learned the hard way. The paper floats off in seconds, and the churros bob up like they're on a beach vaki. Fry for about 2 minutes per side until they're golden and crispy. Eyeball that color, don't just trust the clock. Scoop them out, drain the oil, and pile them into your favorite bowl like you're serving royalty. Now, the moment of truth. Dip those warm, crunchy churros into that rich chocolate sauce. Oh man, it's next-level heaven. Serve them hot, and watch everyone lose their minds. You just made churros like a boss. So, what's the verdict? Ready to make these your new obsession? Drop your churro stories in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more kitchen wins. Let's keep the tasty vibes rolling. Hey, my fellow flavor chasers. Welcome back to the kitchen where magic happens, and today, we're crafting something that'll steal your heart, easy cream puffs. These little golden clouds of joy are crispy on the outside, airy inside, and filled with a custard so dreamy, it's like a love letter to your taste buds. No fancy gadgets, just simple ingredients and a whole lot of passion. Ready to dive into this classic with me? Let's make some pufftastic memories. First up, we're whipping up choux pastry. Don't let the name scare you, it's easier than it sounds. Grab a pot, pour in a cup of water, and add a pinch of salt. Toss in half a stick of butter, chopped into bits for quick melting. Set it over medium heat. Medium's the sweet spot, folks. Too hot, and you'll scorch it. Too low, and you'll get lumps. In about a minute, that butter melts into a happy, bubbly mix. Give it a stir to make sure it's all cozy and combined. Now, here's where the fun starts. As soon as it's just starting to boil, dump in a cup of all-purpose flour, boom, all at once. Grab a wooden spoon, channel your inner chef, and stir like you mean it. In 1 to 2 minutes, you'll see the dough come together, smooth and thick, pulling away from the pot. Keep it on the heat for another 3 to 5 minutes to dry it out a bit. This is the secret to those perfect, puffy shapes that hold up in the oven. Alright, slide that dough into a bowl to cool for about 5 minutes. I like to spread it out to speed things up. Work smarter, not harder. Now, crack in 3 eggs, but here's the pro tip, add them one at a time. Mix each one in until the dough's smooth and stretchy before adding the next. If you toss them all in at once, you'll end up with a runny mess, and nobody wants that. For the last egg, beat it in a small bowl and drizzle it in slowly to nail that perfect, shiny, elastic texture. Your dough should look glossy, like it's ready to strut its stuff. Time to pipe. No pastry bag? No stress. A plastic bag with the corners snipped works like a charm. Pipe out ping-pong ball-sized rounds onto a baking tray, leaving space for them to puff up. Wet your finger and gently tap down any pointy peaks for that smooth, bakery-worthy look. Pop them in the oven. Check the description for exact temps and times, and don't peek for the first 20 minutes, or they'll deflate like a bad soufflé. You'll know they're done when they're golden, crispy, and begging to be filled. While those puffs bake, let's talk custard, the soul of this dish. In a bowl, mix 2 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Separate 3 egg yolks. Room temp is best for a silky texture, so warm them in hot water if they're cold. In a saucepan, sprinkle a bit of sugar on the bottom to keep the milk from scorching, then pour in a cup of milk. Heat it on low until you see tiny bubbles at the edges. No boiling, please. Slowly whisk the dry mix into the warm milk, keeping that wrist moving to avoid lumps. Cook for a minute or 2 until it thickens. Now, temper those yolks. Pour a thin stream of about half a cup of the hot mix into the yolks, whisking fast to warm them gently. Pour it all back into the pot, stirring as you go, and cook on low for 5 to 7 minutes until it's thick and creamy. Dip a spoon in and run your finger across the back. If the line holds, you're golden. Off the heat, stir in a splash of vanilla for that extra kiss of flavor. Pour the custard through a sieve into a chilled bowl for that silky smooth finish. Cover it with plastic wrap, pressing it right onto the surface to stop a skin from forming, and chill it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. For extra decadence, fold in some whipped cream whipped to stiff peaks, but straight custard is just as divine. When those puffs are out of the oven, let them cool, then slice them open. Pipe in that luscious custard, and take a moment to admire your work. That crispy, slightly salty shell meets the creamy, sweet filling. It's pure bliss in every bite. You've just made a dessert that's as fun to create as it is to eat. So, what's the verdict, chefs? Feeling the cream puff love? Drop a comment with your favorite dessert or where you're watching from, I'd love to know. Smash that like button, subscribe, and join me next time for more kitchen adventures. Until then, keep cooking with heart.